He's at it again. The bearded buffoon is reviewing another MG ZT, but there's a reason for it.
Welcome to Beards and Bangers.
So, it's fair to say MG Rover were struggling 2000, 2001. They launched the Z cars and they had some great success, but they were continually refining and developing things. Now, we'll talk about the MG ZT 260 in another video, but Rover, when they launched the MG ZT, they had a very loud lorry coming up behind them like that. When MG Rover launched the MG ZT, they had two engines. They had a naturally aspirated 1.8 K series, and they had the 2.5 V6 in two different power outputs. You had the 160, so slightly detuned, and then you had the 180/190, putting out a bit more power. But Rover worked out that by putting a turbocharger on a K series engine, they get as much power but better economy than they would with the KV6 160 brake horsepower. So that's why they did what they did, and that's why we're looking at what we're looking at. So we'll obviously refresh our memory on the outside of a ZT in a moment, because you've seen plenty of ZTs on my channel. But as you know, it's my mission to drive all the different variants. So we see a familiar engine bay layout, we see a familiar engine, a K series with our multi-point injection here. The key difference with this one is that we've got a snail-like contraption down here just in front of the exhaust, and that is our turbocharger. So it's got a fairly soft turbo. Our 1.8, as we know, in natural form put out about 120 brake horsepower, but with this setup we're up to 158 horsepower with the turbocharger. So we've got smaller engine, we've got better economy, but we've got the same power as if we were going to buy an MG ZT 160 V6. And the other reason, of course, that MG did this, and they did this in the 75 as well, is for company car tax reasons. So having a 2.5 V6 company car would hurt you. It would hurt your back pocket, your take-home pay quite considerably. So that's another reason why MG Rover introduced the turbocharged K6 version, so you had a nice powerful car without the emissions and therefore without massive company car tax bills. Now, the other reason I want to look at this car is because it's a monogram, and I can actually remember the colour. This is a monogram Mirage 2. It's a really nice, to the untrained eye you'd think, oh, that's ski blue or Wedgwood blue, but no, if you look very carefully, I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but it's certainly a monogram. While I'm here, thanks to Dan for lending me this car for today, and here's his Instagram page, so do check that out. Dan takes some wonderful photographs of cars. So yeah, so this is the Mirage. We're wearing hairpin alloys, 18-inch, as all the ZTs were, but yeah, really nice colour. Not very many built, certainly only, I think only 5 1.8 turbo were built in this colour. We've got some adjustments to the headlamps here, so we've got some sort of xenon lamps. We've got our lovely Mark 1 ZT face, but yeah, really attractive colour. This one is in use as a daily driver, so it's not pristine, but it's pretty good. We won't show you the boot because you've seen me reviewing a boot on a 75 and a ZT before, but we will get inside it, have a quick refresh of our memories, and then we shall go for a drive. So this car's had two owners, the previous owner who had it from new, and then Dan. So it's in pretty immaculate condition inside. We've got an actual non-saggy headlining. We've got a sunroof in this one. Let's just familiarise ourselves with the layout. This lovely sweeping dash that blends into the doors with this nice curve here. Light controls, stalks, lovely instrument pack with our beautiful oval MG style dials, aftermarket single DIN radio, climate control, cup holder. Oh, nice action. Oh, it's a bit stiff like mine. Ashtray, cigarette lighter. This is an MG, so we can call it a cigarette lighter. 5-speed manual box, locks, hazard warning lights, leather handbrake, cubby, and yeah, lovely bucket seats that I really like. They're very huggy seats. This car is in absolutely immaculate condition inside. You've seen me talking about the inside of these before. We need to go drive it. So I've not driven a turbocharged 1.8 K series before, so this is a first experience for me. Let's start it up and see if there's any difference there. There's a rather nice motorbike that goes blasting past. Now I'm not sure what exhaust we've got in here, but that's got a real nice deep resonant sound. We're going to go for a bit of a blast. We're not going to go mad. Again, we don't do that on other people's cars. I've just noticed that Dan's airbag light is staying on, so hopefully he's not going to have the same problems that we did with Husley Bear. We'll just carefully get out of here, and then we shall go for a bit of a drive and let you hear what it's like. Excuse me. Here we go. Oh, hello. Oh, you're a bit lively, aren't you? So it's got a real deep boomy sound. It's a very nice engine note indeed. If you were blindfolded and put in here, but just told you were going to go in an MG ZT, you'd think for the kind of like the lovely deep bassy rumble going on up front, you were in a KV6, but you're not. But this feels very agile. I'm on quite windy roads. Yeah, as chuckable as all the ZT, so we can corner and the car stays nice and flat. The turbo's not in your face. You can't really hear the turbo spooling. You'll have seen a previous video of me reviewing the Rover 800, and that turbo was definitely in your face. But this one, it's clearly there because we have got a lot of power. We've got much more power than a standard 120 K series. This is nice. A first for the channel. You know, I'm reviewing all the various ZT and 75 permutations, so this is a double first because it's a monogram and it's a 1.8 turbo, and it's very nice. Yeah, so let's just accelerate out of this corner, just see if we can feel that turbo doing its stuff. Yeah, just getting up to 3,500 revs, it really kicks in, but the power's there all the way through. It's not slouchy off the line, that's for sure. But yeah, how lovely this car is. So it wouldn't be a Beards and Bangers video without getting you on Beards Cam, the view that my beard has when it drives a car. Let's take a little blast on this B road because this is going to be a good test. Just wait for this traffic to pass. Well, this is quite a nasty junction. We shall proceed with caution. There we are. But it is nice getting out of a junction like that, knowing you've got that power straight away. Oh yeah. So it's very different to normal K series, because of course K series with VVC, you've got that power at 4,500 RPM plus. Yeah, so it's quite different. You've got power all the way through, but it's, yeah, very easy to drive. You know the engine's there, but it's not in your face, really loud and shouting at you. Yeah, this van doesn't realise in front doesn't realise I'm doing a test drive, so we should have warned them. The authorities should have warned people that I'm test driving, so not to slouch when they're driving. But do you know what? Actually, just pottering along at 40 miles an hour, this is really pleasant. It's comfortable motoring this. Yeah, I can see why this car is used as a daily. So yeah, we better start drawing some conclusions. I think so I still need to do a 120 ZT, sorry. So I keep saying ZR. I'm driving an MG ZT. This is a review about an MG ZT. If I've kept saying ZR, it's because I've got ZRs on my brain for some reason. Yeah, so we just need to drive a naturally aspirated 120 ZT. We've done the naturally aspirated 75, so we'll see how that compares. But I am, given that I've got a ZT 190, which is currently putting out 173 brake horsepower, this is not a lot different. This has got a lot of power. I'll be interested to take this on a motorway for a long run and just see how it feels, sitting at a steady 70 miles an hour for a good few hours, because that's always another good test of a car, but not terribly interesting for a test drive. Yeah, this is really pleasant. Really pleasant indeed, actually. Thank you once again, Dan. So we need to come up with a conclusion to this video, and the conclusion is, if you're looking to buy an MG ZT and you think the 1.8 turbo is the one for you, buy it. Seriously good fun. It's maybe a slightly cheaper way of getting a decent powerful ZT. Of course, with any K-series car, you've got to do your checks. Ideally, you'd be buying a car with some history. If you're not, then you've got to get the car serviced. You've got to keep on top of that servicing. You've got to make sure the belts are done. Please try and find out if there's history with head gasket, because they're good engines, but they've got to be looked after, and there are too many out there that are being abused. But I'm well impressed with this MG ZT 1.8 turbo 160, and yeah, I can recommend them wholeheartedly. So thank you for watching this MG ZT related video from Beards and Bangers. I thank you for your time. If you like what you've seen and you haven't done so, hit subscribe. Please smash the like button, and please share with your friends. It's greatly appreciated as the channel keeps growing. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.